You've seen Titanic. You cried at the end. Jack sinks into the freezing Atlantic. Old Rose drops the heart of the ocean into the sea. The music swells. Credits roll. You felt something. But here's what James Cameron never told you. That ending almost didn't happen. There was a completely different version. A darker version. A version so strange that even the cast couldn't keep a straight face filming it. And today on Movix Guy, we're telling you exactly what it was, why it got cut, and what it would have done to one of the greatest films ever made. First, let's talk about what Titanic actually was before it became a masterpiece. Titanic had a production budget of $200 million, making it the most expensive film ever made at the time. Both Paramount Pictures and 20th Century Fox expected Cameron to complete it for release in summer 1997 to exploit the blockbuster season. Cameron said the special effects were too complicated and that releasing it on that date would not be possible. The studio was terrified. Cameron was over budget, over schedule, and making a 3-hour romance about a ship everyone already knew sank. Cameron spent more time on dives to the actual Titanic wreck than any of its original passengers did on the ship itself. 12 dives in 1995 alone. He was obsessed, and that obsession nearly produced an ending that would have destroyed everything. Here's what almost happened instead. In the alternate ending, elderly Rose approaches the railing of the research vessel, just like in the theatrical version. But this time, Brock Lovett and Rose's granddaughter Lizzie see her climbing the railing and run toward her, both convinced she's about to jump overboard. Brock, desperate, tries to barter with her for the diamond. Rose turns to him and delivers a speech. Every time I thought about selling it, I thought about Cal, but I made it without his help. Then she says, and this is real dialogue that was actually filmed. You look for treasure in the wrong places, Mr. Lovett. Only life is priceless. Make each day count. She lets Brock hold the necklace for a moment, then throws it into the ocean anyway. Then Brock starts laughing uncontrollably and asks Lizzie to dance. Read that again. The man who spent 3 years obsessively hunting a priceless diamond just watched it get thrown into the ocean, and his response is to start dancing. Bill Paxton, who played Brock, later joked that he would have shot heroin to make the scene work better. That tells you everything about how this ending felt on set. To his credit, Cameron recognized the problem. He realized the way to make the ending work was to make it simpler. He removed the extra characters and made it a quiet moment with just the old Rose alone at the railing. Cameron later said, "The film is about death and separation. He had to die. It's called art. Things happen for artistic reasons, not for physics reasons. Had Jack lived, the end of the film would have been meaningless." And he was right. The power of Titanic's ending comes from its silence. No speeches. No dancing, no moral lessons delivered at the railing. Just an old woman letting go of a diamond, of a memory, of a life she almost didn't have. The alternate ending was watched 1.4 million times when it resurfaced online, with one viewer commenting, "The alternate ending to Titanic is hilarious. This would have absolutely ruined the film for me." But here's the part most people miss entirely. There's a theory that the actual ending of Titanic, the one Cameron kept, is already the dark version. Rose dies in her sleep at the end of the film. That final sequence where she walks through the Titanic and reunites with Jack isn't a dream. It's death. She sailed back to the exact coordinates where the Titanic sank, and she died there on purpose to go back to him. As one fan wrote, she shared her story so she could go be at the resting site of the Titanic again. and maybe subconsciously lay herself at peace there with Jack. The ending Cameron kept isn't a happy ending. It never was. It's a 101-year-old woman choosing to die at sea so she can spend eternity with the boy she loved for 4 days in 1912. That's not romantic. That's haunting. James Cameron threw away the cheesy ending and gave us something that still makes people cry 28 years later. That final sequence, Rose dropping the heart of the ocean and reuniting with Jack, helped make Titanic a movie people wanted to see again and again. And it became the highest-grossing film in history. One decision, one quieter, darker, lonelier ending. That's all it took. Subscribe to Movix Guy. We find the stories behind the stories.